Hey everybody, how's it going today? Texas Redleg here. Just wanted to put out a video. I was thinking last night about what I was wanting to talk about today, and um, I think a lot of us overlook from the prepping side. A lot of us overlook, and I'm guilty of it myself. Um, Overlook the fact that there's going to be children involved. Our own children, other people's children, grandchildren, great grandchildren, perhaps. And I don't know. I just thought it might be a good idea to kind of swing back to the kids, at different ages, obviously, from babies all the way up to teenagers. And the first thing I think about is, do they have a sense of reality versus, what they're taught at school and what their friends tell them, what they experience, out and about with other people. Do they have a adjusted sense of the real world, even though they're just kids? I mean, and I'm certainly not here to say I'm perfect or the perfect parent or anything like that. I just think it's important that the adults, the parents, the grandparents take the time to, get a hold of the kids and, talk about everything from, you know, what reality is, what to do, what not to do. Is there good hiding places at your house that they know? Have you designated uh, hiding spots? Like my grandson, for example, he knows that he's got 3 hiding spots in the house. If I say go to hiding spot 1, he knows where to go. Spot 2, knows where to go. Spot 3, he knows where to go. So I'll always know if I tell him to go hide in which spot, he knows he's supposed to go to that spot and be there until somebody comes to, from the family, me or somebody else comes to get him or tell him it's safe. One of those spots is designated for storms, tornadoes, stuff like that. That's the most fortified portion of the house. But there's 2 more spots that are for other types of things that should he need to hide. So that's one thing. Second thing is, a lot of these kids, and my grandson included, he's hooked on electronics. So it's important to, start trying to wean them off of that a little bit. I think at least maybe get some more traditional type things or games that they can play with, or maybe just download games that don't require Wi-Fi on their devices. Games that they can just play that are downloaded to the actual machine itself and don't require online activity or connections. Even some books, things like that. It might be a good idea to have stuff like that, ready to go, included in your preps for in case you were ever to have to, head out and do something, get away from your base of operations. Like we own some property out west Texas, and it's a pretty fortified little place, but I've got some things out there for him all the time, or the other kids that come too. Just little play toys and different things that kids like, other than something they can get Wi-Fi with, because there may come a point in time where it's not really going to be an option. The world keeps getting crazier and crazier, and who knows what's going to happen. I'm just saying that it might be a good idea for you to have some options when it comes to the kids, even some educational books. I mean, if you end up having to teach them, the world, I mean, some reading books, some math, some science, some stuff like that. They have these little activity books you can get at Walmart or whatever bookstores. Even the dollar stores have them, Anyway, just something different that might come in handy should you need it. Another area with children is, of course, clothing, um, uh, food items that they like, vitamins, any medications that they take. Don't forget about them or your pets, obviously. I think most people are pretty good about that, but sometimes I think out of sight, out of mind. We're also focused on the preps for the big people. We sometimes maybe forget the things about the little people, and you know, again, every kid is different with their level of judgment, maturity, and dexterity. But it's probably a good idea to when you think they're capable, teach them how to shoot a firearm, at some point when they're young, so they're not intimidated by it, and they can start being educated on it in a safe and secure manner. I never think it's I really don't think there's too young of an age if they can comprehend it and safely do it under the supervision of an adult. But that's each individual's choice. Certainly around 6, 7, 8 years old might be a good time to introduce them at least to firearms, and at least shotguns and rifles. Maybe they make some little 22 rifles called crickets that are really neat for kids. They're real kind of sporty, and it's more of a fun thing. They've got bright colors on them and things like that. Anyway, I'm not advocating that everybody teach their kid how to shoot. I'm just saying if it's something that the children or your children or your grandchildren are interested in, maybe have a little firearm put aside for a kid, that you can train and teach them on safely and all that. So I'm not saying do anything dangerous, obviously, but there's youth guns might be hard to come by, in the future. So if you've got a youth size gun in your family, rifle or shotgun or both, be sure to hang on to them, because you never know what's going to happen, and that might be a valued commodity. So anyway, just thought I'd throw that out there. I'm probably guilty of it myself too, about forgetting the stuff for the kiddo, but I'm gonna start getting better at that and have him a little bag and he can grab and go with. And I already got some stuff put away, for emergencies, but as they grow, their needs grow too, so you got to think about that as well. If you don't want to have a set of clothes in there that's 3 years old, or they're not going to be able to wear it anyway, so you got to kind of turn that stuff over as they grow, and add to it. Anyway, just something I wanted to throw out there. Don't forget the kiddos. Clothing, first aid, medicine, nutrition, education. It's always good to remember them and bring them along. Keep them prepared as well. All right, y'all have a good night. Long live the Republic.